It's America's 11th federal holiday! Throughout the year, America celebrates important events, ideas, and people that made an impact on our nation. Sometimes you'll get the day off work, or sometimes you'll get some extra pay for going to work, and sometimes it's just another day of work. There are 11 federal holidays recognized by the United States government. On these days, all non-essential government employees are off work, and most government offices, including post offices, are closed. States and private companies are not required to observe federal holidays, but most state and local governments, as well as many private businesses, are also closed on these days. Are you ready? Let's go! Happy New Year! Each year, on January 1st, almost everyone in America has the day off work, most of them to recover from the night before. January 1st didn't always mark the beginning of our calendar. It wasn't until 153 BC that our calendars even had a January or February. And this was when they officially changed the beginning of the year to January 1st on the Gregorian calendar. This day was chosen because it was the day that the Romans chose to inaugurate new consuls. France didn't change their New Year's date until 1564, and England waited all the way until 1752. Celebrate your day off work by cleaning up your mess from the night before and then crawling back in bed. Celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which is also known as American Civil Rights Day. Several cities hold parades, and since 1994, this day has turned into a day of citizen action volunteer service. King was the chief spokesperson for nonviolent activism in the civil rights movement, which protested racial discrimination in federal and state law. The campaign to honor King with a federal holiday started soon after his assassination in 1968. 6 million signatures were collected for a petition to Congress to pass a law making this holiday a federal day, which is regarded as the largest petition in favor of an issue in U.S. history. Although Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929, the holiday is celebrated on the third Monday in January and wasn't even official until 1986. Happy Washington's birthday! Even though it's called President's Day by quite a few states, this federal holiday was declared to celebrate the man who led the Continental Army to victory in the American Revolutionary War, presided at the Constitutional Convention of 1787, and he was the first president of these United States, President George Washington. Because of the Uniform Holiday Act of 1968, the date moved from February 22nd to the third Monday in February, a date which will never coincide with Washington's actual birthday. Because it is now closer to Lincoln's birthday, some states call it President's Day to honor all American presidents. Happy Memorial Day! This federal holiday is observed to honor and mourn the U.S. military personnel who have died in the course of carrying out their duties. Originally, this holiday was observed on May 30th until 1970, when it was moved to the last Monday in May. On this day, many people visit cemeteries and memorials, placing American flags on the graves of military personnel. In 1868, General John A. Logan of the Grand Army of the Republic called for a Declaration Day, and by 1890, every northern state adopted it as a holiday. The World Wars turned it into a national day of remembrance. Memorial Day is also considered the unofficial beginning of summer in the United States. Hooray! It's time to celebrate Juneteenth! America's newest federal holiday was signed into law by President Joe Biden on June 17, 2021. Juneteenth commemoration is on the anniversary date of the 1865 announcement of General Order No. 3 by Union Army General Gordon Granger, proclaiming freedom for all the slaves in Texas, which was the last state of the Confederacy with institutional slavery. It's also been called Jubilee Day, Emancipation Day, and Black Independence Day. Celebrations date all the way back to 1866, at first involving church-centered community gatherings in Texas. It spread across the South and became more well-known in the 1920s, often centering around a food festival. And finally, by 1979, 49 states had formally recognized the holiday in various ways. Celebrations usually include readings of President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, singing traditional songs such as Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, and reading of works by African American writers such as Ralph Ellison and Maya Angelou. Also look for cookouts, family reunions, rodeos, and Miss Juneteenth contests. Happy Independence Day! Today is our day to celebrate the adoption of the Declaration of Independence from British rule way back on July 2nd, 1776. This declaration explained why the 13 colonies at war with the Kingdom of Great Britain and King George III regarded themselves as 13 independent sovereign states no longer under British rule. Ever since then, America celebrates with cookouts, baseball games, parades, carnivals, concerts, and fireworks. Also called the 4th of July, fireworks light the sky in every city across the nation. Independence Day is the national day of the United States. Wow! Did you know? Held since 1785, the Bristol 4th of July Parade in Bristol, Rhode Island is the oldest continuous Independence Day celebration in the United States. Celebrate Labor Day! Not only does this day celebrate the American labor movement, but most Americans believe it marks the end of summer. It's always the Monday of a long weekend called Labor Day weekend. Many people take their 2-week vacations during the 2 weeks ending in Labor Day weekend. Beginning in the late 1880s, as the trade unions and the labor movements grew, it was proposed that a day be set aside to celebrate labor. Oregon was the first state to make it an official public holiday way back in 1887. By the time it became an official holiday in 1894, 30 states celebrated Labor Day. Labor Day has become known by retailers as an important weekend for potential customers with time to shop, especially for back-to-school sales. Some retailers claim that it's one of the largest sales dates next to the Christmas season's Black Friday. Happy Columbus Day! This day honors the Italian explorer and navigator who completed 4 voyages across the Atlantic Ocean, opening the way for widespread European exploration and colonization of the Americas. Without this guy, we wouldn't even be here. Although we celebrate this holiday on the second Monday in October, it actually marks the arrival of Columbus to the Americas on October 12, 1492. Columbus's first voyage with the Spanish ships, the Pinta, the Nina, and the Santa Maria took almost 3 months. I sure hope he had Netflix. He was searching for an alternate route to the Far East, only to land in the New World. This initiated the colonization of the Americas by Spain. During a national celebration called by President Benjamin Harrison in 1892, teachers, preachers, poets, and politicians used their own techniques to teach patriotism. Included among them was the Pledge of Allegiance by Francis Bellamy. Celebrate Veterans Day! Each year on November 11th, we celebrate the brave men and women who have served our country. This day was chosen because it marks the end of World War I, which formally ended on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918. Calvin Coolidge declared this federal holiday back in 1926 and said this day is to be dedicated to the cause of world peace and to be thereafter celebrated as Armistice Day. It was renamed by Congress in 1954 to Veterans Day. Legally, 2 minutes of silence is recommended to be observed at 2:11 Eastern Time. Non-essential government offices are closed and no mail is delivered. Although we thank our veterans every day, Each year on November 11th, America takes a day to recall and recognize all that they do. Happy Thanksgiving Day! Chosen as the day we give thanks for a bountiful autumn harvest, did you know that it wasn't always celebrated on the same day? And sometimes it wasn't even celebrated at all. The first Thanksgiving was celebrated by the Pilgrims after the first harvest in the New World in October 1621. The feast lasted 3 days and was attended by 90 Wampanoag and 53 Pilgrims. Thanksgiving was first held nationally in 1789 by a proclamation from President George Washington. Then, just a few years later, President Thomas Jefferson chose not to observe the holiday. It wasn't until 1870 that President Ulysses S. Grant signed into law the Holidays Act that made Thanksgiving a yearly appointed federal holiday. And finally, in 1942, President Franklin D. Roosevelt officially made it the fourth Thursday in November. Thanksgiving celebrations include family, football, and food. Thanksgiving dinner is the centerpiece of all celebrations. Turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, squash, corn, green beans, and cranberries are the typical fare. But the holiday wouldn't be complete without a slice of pumpkin pie. Merry Christmas! One of America's favorite holidays, the season of Christmastide, is celebrated by billions of Christians and non-Christians around the world. The traditional Christmas narrative, the Nativity of Jesus, delineated in the New Testament, says that Jesus was born in Bethlehem. When Joseph and Mary arrived in the city, the inn had no room. They were offered a stable where the Christ child was soon born, with angels proclaiming the news to shepherds who spread the word. Although the month and date of Jesus' birth are unknown, in the 4th century the churches fixed the date to December 25th. This corresponds to the winter solstice on the Roman calendar, and it's exactly 9 months after the spring equinox. Christmas is typically celebrated by family gatherings, decorations, nativity scenes, garlands, wreaths, mistletoe, and lighted Christmas trees. Grown-ups and kids alike wait a whole year for holiday traditions like gift-giving, a huge Christmas feast, and singing Christmas carols. In addition, Santa Claus makes his once-a-year trip, delivering toys to all the good children of the world. Thank you for listening today. My name is Kevin. Welcome to my channel, Everything Kevin. If you like this video, please press like below. If you'd like to see more, please press subscribe. Take it easy, man.